everybody, welcome back to another week of Circle of Hope's
Kids Con!
So glad to be together, and I can't wait to see what you've been doing this week. Let's take a look.
Hit it!
Wow, you guys are so much fun. Thank you for sharing that. Let's start our time together by lighting our Advent wreath.
2, 3. Light a candle for the prophets. God promised them a King and Savior. God became like us to say, I love you, be my friend today. That is why we light our candle, to remember Jesus' love. Light a candle for John the Baptist. He prepared the way for Saint Jesus. God became like us to say, I love you, be my friend today. That is why we light our candle, to remember Jesus' love. Light a candle for Mary. She praised God for such a blessing. God became like us to say, I love you, be my friend today. That is why we light our candle, to remember Jesus' love.
Let's read a book now together about someone who had a really big waiting experience as we think about waiting this Advent season.
Truman by Jean Reedy and Lucy Ruth Cummins. Truman was small, the size of a donut, a small donut, and every bit as sweet. He lived with his Sarah high above honking taxis and growling trash trucks and shrieking cars, and the number 11 bus, which traveled south. Truman never honked or growled or shrieked at anything or anybody. He was peaceful and pensive, just like his Sarah. One day, Sarah ate a big banana with her breakfast, clipped a blue bow in her hair, and buttoned up a brand new sweater. She strapped on a backpack so big 32 small tortoises could ride along in it, but 0 tortoises did. Sarah placed 7 green beans in Truman's dish, 2 more than usual. She kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and whispered, "Be brave." Then she left. Not to worry. She'd left before, and she'd always returned. But this time, that backpack was particularly big, and Sarah looked particularly pensive. And that banana and that bow, and let's not forget about those extra beans. That's when Truman saw something he'd never seen before. Sarah boarding the number 11 bus going south. The bus roared away. Truman waited for Sarah to return. He waited and waited. Have you ever waited for something? How does it feel to wait? What do you do when you're waiting? Truman waited 1,000 hours, tortoise hours, that is, until he could wait no longer. He would go after his Sarah. He would catch the number 11 south, even amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking, even if it seemed impossible. Bonk! That's when he noticed the rocks. 3 rocks that had always been there. Ordinary rocks that now seemed extraordinary. 1, 2, 3. And the arm of the couch, and the pillow propped just right, and that tall, tall boot, and the rug, that glorious, endless rug. Without Sarah, their home seemed vast and uncharted and unsettling. Truly unsettling. But perhaps most unsettling was that Truman could no longer see the taxis or the trash trucks or the cars or the number 11 bus. Which way was south anyway? Now the sun hung low like Truman's head and heart. Just then, vroom, screech, wish. Up floors and under doors, Truman heard it. A bus! It was time. Time to catch the number 11 south. Amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking. Yet, standing there, in that ray of light, Truman felt peaceful and pensive and brave. But just as he was about to slip under the door, through that opening barely the size of a small tortoise, Sarah! She spotted him shining like the sun. Truman, she cried. She scooped him up and said things like, "Oh my goodness, and you, and how did you ever?" and "amazing." Wow, it feels really good to be back together when you've been waiting for someone all day, doesn't it? Sarah kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and tucked him back safely in his tank, where he was peaceful and pensive and proud. And later, just before bedtime, she read him a story. Truman. Now, Truman knew that one day soon, he and his Sarah might travel south to see new sights and hear new sounds and think new thoughts together.
What a great story. I felt kind of nervous waiting to see what Truman was going to do.
Yeah.
And so relieved that his Sarah got there before he went out the door. I wonder what Mary felt like waiting for Jesus to be born all that time, if she felt like it was an adventure or if she felt like it was scary. And even what it felt like as she waited during his lifetime to see how he brought peace to the whole world. We're going to sing Silent Night. Have you ever been silent? Maybe right before bed or when you're waking up. I don't think that it was very silent the night that Jesus was born. There were a lot of animals around and the town was really crowded because everyone had to come home that season. But maybe there was this tiny little moment to be silent. And maybe Mary was wondering how this baby was going to save the world. Let's sing this song together.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That was awesome, Miles and Jane. Thank you so much for sending that in. Well, we're going to light the 4th candle next week as we talk about the shepherds and the wise men. And I can't wait to do that with you. Have a great week. Bye.